responded tonight. What pleased you most?
I mean, I thought we executed some of the things that we spoke about better in the end-of-game situation. This was a very strange game, as we guessed. It was a small ball type game. They sat in a 2-3 zone a lot of the game. But I thought finding Joel, down the stretch at the end, I wish we did it probably 5 seconds sooner. But we found him. That was a big basket. I thought Benny down the stretch, made some tough plays. And I think that by and large our defense, was decent for most of the game. We credit Harrison Barnes for those 2 big threes, coming down the stretch. But those things come to my mind.
Talk about your team's three-point shooting.
Yeah, we shot the ball, but I think when you go back, we did shoot the ball well. I thought Joel reacted far better to his double teams. He passed out of the double teams. They double teamed him often. I thought that he quarterbacked the gym well from the post. We're still trying to help him get his feet and get his poise where it's not as much of a turnover situation, and it will happen. He's just so excited to play again. But I think a lot of the threes came from Joel navigating some post double teams.
It seemed like there were a lot of stretches where you guys actually had a size advantage and some length, and the rebounding numbers seemed like there was a pretty key disparity there. Was that part of the thinking with Shards tonight, or how did you guys try to use size to your?
We got in foul trouble with Ben Simmons, and Lawabu had those quick fouls in the first half, and just without JJ, and trying to piecemeal this thing together, we ended up a lot of a big team. And I was okay with that. We switched a lot. I thought that we could keep the game in front of us. We ended up keeping the game in front of us better than I thought could have happened, and so we went with it and we stayed big. But that's a big team and a physical team, and I think the rebounding numbers showed that.
Coach, there were times when Dirk was testing Embiid defensively. As a coach, what do you see from him on the defensive end at this stage in his career?
Where Dirk was testing Joel?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dirk is great. Like, he just sort of, for me, represents everything you would want from a player. I think he's class. I think he's great. I think the longevity is remarkable. And for him to, have some type of almost fun with Joel. I know they spent time this summer with Basketball Without Borders in Africa, in South Africa. And Dirk has that nature anyways. But I think that those two guys, going back and forth, completely different styles of play, but relationally and watching those two guys interact, I think, it's good for the game.
What about the importance of the team's psyche in holding on to win this game after what happened against Houston and losing at the buzzer?
I mean, it's the evolution of this young team. It's still, I'm in a room, you're never satisfied. Somewhere probably tomorrow you're going to realize you won. But there's always things like you wish you could have done better. I think that the good news is we did things that we work on in relation to closing out a game. Getting the ball, even simply getting the ball in bounds to Jared Bayless at the end of the game, finding Joel Embiid, trying to react to, do you call a timeout or you don't call a timeout at the end when TJ was stuck along the baseline. Those types of things grow a team. We need to be grown. We have complete youth all over the place, and I hope that this will help us move forward.
Third quarter, 76, 76. Instructions come with that post up to Joel. Did you tell him to? I know you told him to post up deep, but did you limit some of his options to make sure he did what he did?
You try to convey that, from the court. Like we called a thumb post play, and Ben, if you look at it, you see him, Ben's trying to get Dirk out. He sees there's some type of a mismatch, and the clock is evaporating. And so we flagged that off quickly. We got Joel the ball later than we had hoped. It's a thumb post play we run, and it was really Joel just horsing the play, and being strong. I mean, that effectively was the game.
Third quarter, 76, 76, and then you guys were up by 11 at one point. What was the difference in the game, especially after it come down, it could go anyway at the end?
I mean, we went on a 15-2 run, at the end of the third. I just thought that we got stops and played fast. And it was a very, very different game, from small ball to big ball to man defense to zone defense to foul trouble with Ben to playing sort of some unusual lineups in the game that we were kind of forced to play. all over the place, the game was unusual. And I thought, to our guys' credit, they played hard, they played together. You shake Harrison Barnes' hands on those two, threes that he made toward the end of the game. But I like the way that we stayed together and found a way to win.
With Ben, I feel like we talk all the time about his gifts and his special traits, but did you expect his importance on the court to be this immediate? It seemed like when he came out in the second, that's when Dallas got back in, and then at the start of the third, he just opened things up again.
I mean, look at Ben Simmons' numbers. What is he's 23, 8, 7, and 1. And really didn't play that much in the first half. And how he impacts a game. All over the place. From a point, tonight he was a 4-man, he was a 3-man, he was a point guard. He switched out on effectively everybody, and just beats up on a stat sheet like we see. That's a hell of a game.
And TJ, I mean, did you expect? I know you have a lot of expectations for him, but this is pretty impressive.
And it just confirms to all of us why we all sort of have the affection and fondness that we do for him. He's a winner, and no matter what you say about, he's trying to improve his shot and this and that, but he coexists with our guys. Our guys love playing with him. He plays with a spirit that we want our team to be recognized for. And tonight, he played big minutes and was a significant contributor in the win tonight.